Well, good evening for those who are watching. And here we are, Friday evening, and it's just gone 8 p.m. And I'm solo this evening, so I hope this is streaming out okay. Hope this finds everybody well. Let me just check as we're trying to get things going here. So, yeah, there's people joining the stream. So I'll just wait for a few more people to come on. I'm multitasking this evening, so hello Andrew. I've got multiple screens, two screens open here, so I can see the stream on the different platforms. We're live here tonight, folks, on YouTube. Hiya, Stu, and we're live over on brand YouTube as well. And suffice to say, do make sure you're following me over on brand YouTube too. But we're streaming to both of these platforms, and then we'll put it out on others. Hi, Stephanie. Good to see everybody coming on the stream. I mean, look, on a Friday night, I don't know what it's like where you are, but it's been a pretty nice day. It's kind of sunny and very summery, so it's a great time. Hi, Stephen Mutre, very good to see you on the stream as well. Thank you very much for being part of this evening. So yeah, it's a lot. I'm sure actually Stephen Mutre can verify. You can fact check me. Has this been a nice day or not? It definitely, from my perspective, weather-wise, has been a very good day. Yeah, so Stu, the thing about it is we are in summer, summer, the season when respiratory illnesses go away. But we will talk about that. I promise you, we'll talk about that. I've got loads of stuff to talk to you about, by the way. In fact, actually, I've almost got a Eurovision aspect to the end of this. So when we get to the end of the stream, we've been having a lot of discussions with you people on the stream. Some people have contacted me and said, oh, we think the intro music that we use for the short videos, we're not so keen on it. It's too fast. It's too modern for you, David. Hi, Jeff. So we're going to play two theme musics at the end. Very short clips, 15 seconds each. And what I want at the end is just vote. Just tell me which of the two you prefer. And as ever, because I'm a Democrat, we will be guided by you folks on the stream. You've got the power to determine what my intro music should be. Hi, John. Good to see you all the way from sunny Luton. Ian, good to see you as well. Where, by the way, is Killynether Forest Park? I have to express my ignorance here. Is that in Scotland? Where's that? Don't know where that is. But sorry, I'm just watching across the streams here. But yeah, so yeah, we have. Hi, James. Good to see you as well. So look, as you folks have joined, let's get on to that. Let's get through the little bit at the beginning. If you're watching on YouTube, Facebook, BitChute, brand YouTube, wherever you are, Odyssey, give me a like, share, subscribe, hit notifications, wherever it is. If you can do that, that's really important for me. Social media links are all down below. You can find me in all the different plans. Do try and join my Telegram channel. Just go and click below and join Telegram. I do put stuff out there. Hiya, Kevin. Good to see you. And yes, the Odyssey links, the BitChute, the brand new tube, all those links are down below. Just go down there. If you like what you hear, give us the thumbs up. A thumbs up. Give yourself. Thank you very much for your kind super chat. Stu, hi Stu. I'll come back to you in a second, Stu. And finally, if you want to give altnewsmedia.net/donate and drop a few pounds in the hat, that'd be good. I got to bring this one up because Stu's as always. In fact, actually, because I seem to be having a problem. Oh, hang on, I'm okay. Stu Frost says you can buy Rebecca some flowers. Fiverr. Rebecca's a lady with expensive tastes, Stu. I could buy her one expensive flower. But Newtonards, Ian, very interesting. Shows how ignorant I am. I didn't even know that. My apologies. I hope the Newtonards Massif won't be too upset by me not knowing where it is. But anyway, that's all the preamble stuff. So I got, as I said, it's just me tonight. It's just solo. So hope you enjoy. Let's bring up some of the stories I want to talk you guys through. Hope you enjoy these. So if we can kick off with, of course, well, yeah, let's bring up this one. This amused me enormously. Here we go. You may have seen this. This came out in the newspaper, but the June 21 Freedom Date is set to go ahead. Yeah. Oh, hang on a second. But social distancing in pubs and restaurants, audience limits in theatres and cinemas, working from home, and masks could all remain in place. Seriously, is that freedom? Is that freedom? Hi, good evening, Chris Davis. Good to see you on the stream. Now you've finished your quarantine period after your Italian jaunt. So yeah, this is freedom, folks. Do you feel? Are you happy? Are you clapping about this one? Going to give out? Perhaps go and give the NHS an additional clap. But yeah, so it's reported that June 21 Freedom Day is going ahead. The only thing is you won't be getting freedom. Well, that seems perfectly reasonable to me. I'm sure you're delighted about that as well. So this is what's being reported, and of course now we're in the month of June, and this is the month June 21 that the cabal, Boris and the gang, have said June 21. That's going to be it. That is going to be Freedom Day. But actually, you're not getting your freedom. You do realize that you're not getting freedom on the 21st of June. I mean, spoiler alert. I wish it were otherwise, but they have no intention of giving you your freedom back, none whatsoever. So just to sort of break the news to you. Hope that didn't upset you. And there's been so much going on. So let's bring up the next. If we can bring up the next. This is where my eyesight gets tested. I don't know. You probably all look much better. This is Professor. This is Professor. I've got everything wrong, Ferguson. That's right. Professor Ferguson, the guy who told us that we all had to stay at home, to fight the virus. But as far as I remember, he was having illicit liaison with a married lady himself. Do you remember? He was disgraced, but not for long. Anyway, back to Professor Ferguson. Apparently, the official COVID R rate is up again and could be as high as 1.3 in, Claxon, Indian variant hotspot. No, can't be Indian because the World Health Organization has said you can't use terms like that. I think it's the Delta variant. But anyway, the R rate's 1.3. Now, you folks do know that the R rate is a modeling rate. It's to do with modeling, right? So whether or not we want to believe what the R rate is down to each of us, of course. I always wonder how they calculate it. It'd be interesting to know. And hang on, a few comments here. I'll bring some of your comments in. Stu says he went to the pub and was not questioned about the lack of a face mask. Very good, good man. Jeff says it'll be the final death knell for pubs and restaurants. Well, Jeff, that's the plan. Chris, our friend Chris, says Mark Drakeford has been saying that social distancing is Wales' ultimate defence against COVID. Listen, what Wales needs is an ultimate defence against Mark Drakeford, the social worker who heads up the ludicrous Welsh administration. So so let's bring up the next one then. This is all associated stuff, all garbage we need to sort out. Oh yeah, were you planning a week over in Portugal, off to the Algarve to maybe play some of those lovely golf courses or go to some of those lovely beaches? Well, tough, because Brits are devastated as holidays are cancelled after Portugal is added to the amber list. Now, anyone who's followed me, as that icon made clear, I've been absolutely telling you. There's no intention of letting you go on your holidays. Apart from, if you fancy a week down in the Falklands or maybe in, the Ascension Islands, the most obscure places. Hi, Kim, by the way. Hi, Peter. Hi, Simon. Good to see you guys on the stream. Thank you for being here tonight. But yeah, so they, people, I'm sure like myself, you all read the press every day. I mean, I read it more as I guess as a form of my atonement for all my wickedness that I have to read the press. And for the last week or two, they've been pushing this notion, we're going to, come beginning of June 4th, we're going to open up. The green list is going to be expanded. We're going to get lots of new countries on it. Thanks again to Stu for the super chat. Good man, Stu. What's holding the rest of you back? Can't you hit the super chat button? Is there something wrong with your computers? So people thought that he was going to expand the green list. He didn't. He never intended to. This is the government, Boris and his minions. And so Portugal, which is a popular resort for Brits, has now been placed into the amber list. Nothing's been added to the green list. So you get all that. You do understand that the intention is not to let you go on your holidays. And you'll find much more of that, by the way, on in the next week or two, because they're building up. They are absolutely building. And in fact, actually, if we bring up the next slide here, folks, it's all part of the same. Because this has been much in the news. Should we be giving the vaccine to children? Well, this article lays out the pros and cons of giving the COVID vaccines, in quotation marks, to UK children. And the analysis suggests that, well, it states the Pfizer biotech jab has been approved for 12 to 15-year-olds. And then they go through a risk-benefit equation. It's very complex because it's more complex than it is for adults. Well, let me show you in one simple slide. Stick with me. One simple slide you're going to bring up now. You know I'm a great fan of Euromomo as a data source. And I'm going to bring it up now. And this really says it all. This is all causes mortality in the youngest age group, not the 14-year-olds. This is for all Europe, 26 different European countries. And you can see like there's a blue line, a deep blue line that goes up and down. And you see that gray zone that it sits within? Well, that's the statistically normal variation in all causes mortality for this age group. And you see the red dotted line at the top? That's when something becomes statistically significant. So, and this is my point, and I await someone to try and answer this one for me, by the way. If you can see through 2020, never mind 2021, the all causes mortality, excess deaths for this young age group has fallen and fallen and fallen. And that's great news. No one wants to see young children dying, obviously. So the mortality is dropping. And there's actually underneath it all, you may be able to discern a black dotted line. That's the average in that sort of area. So at the moment, we're way below average. So here's my question to you. And I hope we've zoomed in on it. So again, you can see the black dotted line in the background there. That's the average all causes mortality. We are significantly below that for most weeks. And at no time have we gone out of the average area. At no point since actually the end of 2019 for about a week. And you can see that. And that's good. What this shows is, I guess, kids are probably more healthy than they've ever been. Something we should all celebrate. So the question is, since all causes mortality in this age group is below average, why on earth would we be wanting to give them this so-called vaccine? Hi, Paul Johnson, by the way. Good to see you on the stream. Paul, Portrush will probably be on the amber list by next week. Probably. I'll be denied being able to visit my bolt hole on the north coast. Actually, I imagine if the local experts get a hint that Boris is going to do the inevitable, and Boris's inevitable is, folks, this was a serious bit of the conversation. They will close. They will not restore our freedoms, and the plan never was to restore our freedoms, but the plan is to vaccinate. Now, I take a view, and I think this is quite a liberal view for me, by the way. If people want to have the vaccine, they should absolutely go and have the vaccine. Not going to judge them. I know a lot of people have had it, but I know a lot of people that haven't had it. So if you want to have the vaccine, do it. That's fine. If, however, you, for your own reasons, determine that you don't want to have the vaccine. That should be fine as well, shouldn't it? It's free choice. I mean, we don't live in a dictatorship, do we? So free choice means you should be allowed to just come to your own conclusions in that. Unfortunately, because we are streaming this on YouTube as well as brand YouTube, what I can say is a bit limited because YouTube doesn't like us to say certain things. But what we can say, I think, is that if we look at the data, and really remember once upon a time Boris said he was going to follow the data, not the dates. Then when you look at the mortality from COVID associated deaths, as they put it, and even there's issues around that, but deaths from COVID associated deaths are I think in Northern Ireland it's running about 0, or 0 to 1, something like that. I'm sure if Stephen or other people are on the stream here, they can let me know or they can correct me, but it's minimal. It's absolutely minimal. And of course, in England, I think it famously fell to 0 on Monday of this week, I think Monday, and then on Tuesday it went up to 1 and then up to 14. That's out of a population of 57 million if you take England and Wales together. So, the reality is that the death metric, the mortality metric, which is the only real important one. And as other people come on the stream and say, no, the important metric is how busy our hospitals are. I disagree. I totally disagree. The important metric for me is, and maybe you agree, how many people are dying from this? Is it significant? Well, I'm sorry, but if nobody's dying from it really isn't that significant. And the government's twisting this, you see, and the government's saying, no, but infections are on the rise. I saw a headline, we showed you the one there about the R rate is on the rise. So what they're talking about is infections. And what they mean by infections is simply positive COVID cases. Now, again, this is a matter of record, scientific record. If it's a positive COVID case, that may not be an active infection. It may be, but it may not be, because there's such things as false positives. And when you, for example, at the moment, and the government's been doing this now for a couple of months, they got the schools back and told the kids they had to test themselves using lateral flow tests twice a week. I'm sure you all remember that. So if you have millions of kids testing themselves twice a week using lateral flow tests, do you think you're going to see a bit of an increase in the number of cases? Obviously, yes. That's exactly what we're seeing. And we had, for example, the ludicrous case which came about there at the beginning of the week, where Scotland were telling us that they had kids going into hospital with COVID. Going into hospital with a broken arm and then having a positive test is not the same as going into hospital with COVID. So accuracy is really important. And I think, we all strive to be accurate in these matters. So just because they're talking about infections, which actually means cases, that does not mean that there is sorry, folks, I'm just trying to watch what's going here. Just checking on. Hi, all you folks over on brand YouTube, by the way. A big shout out to you. Good to see you coming. Thanks for being here on the live stream. Appreciate that. And also good to see the spammers have made it over there as well. Oh God. So the infections is not essentially the metric that we really should be focused on, but it's the metric the media is focused on. It's the metric that they will use to turn around to you and say, folks, come the 21st of June, we're going to have to give it another couple of weeks, 2 more weeks, just 2 more weeks, maybe 3, because they've done 3 weeks, haven't they? They can't use 3 weeks again. 3 weeks to flatten the curve finally. I don't think anyone would buy that. So they're going to be going for 2 weeks to flatten the curve in June 21st. Cheers, everybody. Question is, when we get to the 4th of July, yes, Stu, you're right. The plan's working perfectly. The plan, however, Stu, could not work perfectly if the media was not bought hook, line and sinker by the government. 250 million quid a year in advertising revenues to bankrupt media channels doesn't help. Doesn't help buy you a lot of publicity. a lot of favorable publicity, a lot of unquestioning publicity. So that's where we're heading, folks. We're heading into June, where you're going to get your freedoms denied, or is the very first thing I put up, the very first slide. If you, I put up. Hi, Oban1. Can't believe this is on YouTube. Oh, well, we are on YouTube, actually. Yeah, Twitter suspends people who put up Fauci's emails. Oh, yeah, Dr. Fauci. Yeah, just to bring this one back up again, actually. Yeah, so this is free. This is what you're being told is freedom. Freedom is social distancing, audience limitations, working from home, and masks. Seriously, hands up. Is there anybody on this stream who defines that as freedom? Or is that Boris playing the game that he continues to play? So I don't know. That's my interpretation of what we are heading into as we go through the rest of this month. So hi, Jamie. Yes, Jamie, I have noticed. Have you noticed they never tell you how many tests they do each day? No, you never hear about the tests. You never hear about the tests. You never hear about the false positives either. You never hear about those things. And of course, we must never question the figures because that would be beyond all kinds of. That would be heresy. Can't do stuff like that. Right. Talking of heresy, let's move on a little bit from the inevitable COVID discussions. And I wanted to bring up something else, which I think is kind of a big event that is happening right now, if we can bring it up. And this is the meeting of the G7 finance ministers. Just a little bit of high finance for you guys, right? Because I know you're all finance experts out there. How on earth can Microsoft make $315 billion profit and pay no tax? Well, I'm assuming that it's a profit now. Sometimes the media mix up turnover with profit. So if they made 315 million and they didn't make a profit on it, they wouldn't have to pay tax. But this is to do with the fact that the world's heavyweight nations want to come together and impose a minimum corporation tax rate, which means wherever you trade in the world as an organization, there's going to be a minimum amount you're going to pay. Yes, Steve Hodge, I agree with you. I totally agree with you. We could maybe talk about Biden a bit, but this is interesting because essentially this is again part of the globalization agenda. So instead of countries being able to, in fairness to the Irish Republic, the Irish have set a corporation tax rate of 12.5%, which is, compare that to the UK of 20 at the moment to go up to 25. That's a very attractive taxation environment for big companies to come, create some employment, and essentially, I mean, they are money laundering, for want of a better word, or something like that anyway. They're certainly channeling, flushing large amounts of money through. But that particular low tax environment has proven very good for the Irish people and the Irish economy. And, you know, I'm afraid, I have to say it, there's a lot to be admired in that. So the Irish are up against it because Joe Biden, the potato in the White House, in one of his more lucid moments when he's not offering to buy kids ice cream, Biden has said that he wants to see, I think, a minimum of 15%. I think he started off at 20% or whatever as a minimum taxation rate of corporation tax, and he's brought it back to 15 to try and get a deal. And it looks like there will be a deal on that. The question for Ireland is that would mean that they would lose their tactical advantage, because they would no longer be at 12.5%, they would be at 15% as a minimum. And that means that any other country could technically match them. And the attraction, yes, Ian, it's a bit like Apple, the attraction for investment then in some of these smaller nations like Ireland starts to weaken. And that over time could cause great problems for Ireland, because like it or not, that low corporation tax has been the thing that's driven a lot of investment. So I actually support the Irish in wanting to have low corporation tax. I would like the UK to have a much, as you know, Rishi and the gang are going to put it up to, over the next 2 years, they're going to crank it up to 24, 25% for companies over 100,000, I think. So, you know, in the UK, CT, corporation tax is going up that way. And what Biden's wanting to do now is, because he intends to put it up in the States, he doesn't want to undermine the US economy globally. And so that's why he wants to establish this new base camp. So it's interesting. I find it interesting because ultimately, economies work on the basis, you would have thought, of encouraging business to grow and to do all the things that business does, and to minimize the business taxes within reason that that certainly small to medium-sized companies pay. But these globalists don't see it that way. They want to have global tax rates. They want to take away, if you like, the rights of certain countries to operate as de facto, if not de jure, tax havens. And that's Ian asked me. Hi, Sir Dan. Good to see you on the stream. And Ian makes the point to me. I thought this was supposed to happen in Northern Ireland a few years ago. Ian, I'm so old. I can remember debating Sammy Wilson of the DUP, who's a nice guy. I remember debating Sammy back in 2010, something like that. And I was back then arguing for the importance of getting corporation tax as low as possible. And he said, I remember him saying to me in a public forum, by the way, public debate, that this was likely to happen in the next couple of years. I'm not saying it was the DUP's fault, by the way, it didn't happen. But there's a massive reluctance. There's a massive reluctance in people understanding and politicians understanding the need to reduce tax in business. And that's something I feel very strongly about, that business should be allowed to grow and prosper. And you don't do that if you tax them. Now, Chris Davis, our traveling regular here on the stream, Chris advises me, let's bring this. Dublin is reopening on the 5th of July. The Plain and the Westbury are all booked. Yeah, I know the Westbury is a great hotel. Westbury is a nice hotel. But just a warning, spoiler alert, do make sure you have your mask. I put out over on my, hang on a second, folks, just want to check a few things here if I can. Yes, sorry, people say women have to are good at multitasking, right? But you have no idea the multitasking that goes on when I am talking to you effortlessly, without hesitation, deviation, or repetition. Hi, Claire, good to see you in the stream as well. I put out on my brand new YouTube channel, I put out a video, a very disturbing video. You should go and watch it. It's a clip. I can't put it out on YouTube, too dangerous, but it's actually a clip of the Irish police on a train, going on a train and dealing in a very, very heavy-handed way with a couple of people who weren't wearing masks and who had doctors' letters saying, a letter from doctors saying they were exempt from wearing masks. Go and watch it when I'm finished here. Go over to brand YouTube and watch it till you see what's going on down there. So I think when you see that one, Chris Davis, you might want to probably get an extra pint down in the Temple Bar when you get over there on the 5th of July. But as I say, anyway, the whole business of keeping taxation down in business and in individuals as well is really, really important. Chris says, interesting. Chris says, just seen there the comment. Yeah, I see you guys have seen it. Chris has seen it. John's seen it. Seen the video. David, awful. Chris says, seen it. David, it's sinister. It is sinister. In all of this, am I alone in thinking that? I used to have so much respect for the police. And I'm not saying I don't have respect for them, but I see some of the things that they do, and it leaves me cold. There's a thuggishness. And it's not just the police, in Ireland. It's the police kind of everywhere. Look at Australia. I'm sure you've seen some of the video clips down there. Australia's a nightmare in terms of the thuggery. The Orwellian heavy-handedness of it is something else. Hi, Ronald. Good to see you in the stream as well. I'm very happy to engage with you guys. When I'm doing the stream on my own like this, it's kind of easier for me to kind of come and go and answer you folks. It's easier when I've got like special guests on with me and whatnot. So sometimes it's quite nice just to fly solo and see where it takes me, basically, So there was that there. Now, I wanted to see, was there anything else I got specifically lined up? I know I said I do this for about 30 minutes, but unsurprisingly, I might go a little bit more than that there. So, as I say, I want to talk about the COVID stuff, and we've kind of gone through that. Well, let's talk about Biden, shall we? Somebody brought up Biden, the potato, I mean, don't you think it's really embarrassing to have someone like that represent such a fine country as the United States? It amazes me, you know. And I know he was the most super duper, totally legitimately elected president there's ever been in the history of the universe, let alone the US. So let's be clear in that one, and we're certainly not suggesting for 1 second otherwise. But he's still embarrassing. He's still embarrassing. So even though you know, the media softball him in the States, and the hardest question he gets asked is, you know, hey Joe, what's your favorite favorite ice cream? It's chocolate chip. Did you see that video? Chocolate chip, says Joe. These are the questions that they ask the U.S. president, the media hacks, and it's incredible. If you remember the hostility with which Donald Trump was met for 4 years, the unremitting hostility, the anger, the hatred towards him. And now you compare with these guys asking Biden about his favorite choice of ice cream. And when he answers, they're going, yeah, get Republicans to eat more ice cream. Am I alone in saying? I guess I watch a lot of American stuff, but I just think it's so. John Gleason actually makes a really interesting point here. Joe Biden or Matt Hancock, Clown of the Year finalists. Yeah, well, you might actually add Nicola Sturgeon as well. Actually, I would like to. Chris Davis. I'm careful of this because we're on YouTube, but yes, I did see that. Yeah, absolutely, and I did. I think I put up a brand YouTube video on it. Actually, absolutely creepy. But the media aren't going to ask Biden any tough questions at all, you know. And at the same time, and I'm sure again everyone watching this will have noticed. Have you know? Yeah, just reading your comments. The best thing about this is your comments, by the way. Keep your comments coming in. Make sure you hit those thumbs up. Make sure we keep this stuff going, right? And we're going to be bringing on a special. I said it was solo, but I'm not. As always, I change my mind. Not totally solo, because I'm going to bring on our producer Jed in a minute or two. Hi, Diane. Thank you very much for being on the stream. Vic, if Jeremy, he was waiting for Jeremy Beadle to jump out in Biden. Thing about that one, Vic, is Jeremy Beadle's been dead quite a while. I think that might cause Biden some alarm. But anyway, yeah, some of your comments. I was going to read out some of your comments here. New kind of freedom. Freedom's a chain. A lyric from Curfew from the Black and White album by the Stranglers. Yeah, I remember that album, Sir Dan, actually. I remember that. Good band, by the way. Good band. But yeah, I think Biden's just such an embarrassment. Petrol prices are rocketing. And if you remember day one in the White House, what did he do? He stopped the XL pipeline. He's now stopped the drilling in the Antarctic, which, I mean, he's devastating the energy sector. And then did you notice hang on through the comments, yeah, Joe hang on, reading some of these comments here. John Joe says, Joe got a round of applause from the press pack for joking about, yes, I saw that, John Joe. Yeah, that's when he totally legitimately drove the vehicle. Absolutely, totally legitimately. No doubt about that. As it says at the bottom, by the way, lots of content can be shown on YouTube, but we can't be shown on YouTube. But we can show it over on brand YouTube. We can see it in Odyssey, and you can see it on YouTube. For, let's say, for the spicier stuff, that's the place to go. That's where you want to be. So, okay, Chris, have a good weekend, by the way. Chris Davis, our friend and patron, is off to pick up his daughter. So safe travels with you. And then this is the Eurovision bit, okay? We're going to bring on the Eurovision bit now. And to help explain all this, drum roll, let me bring on our friendly producer, he who makes the magic around all of this malarkey, and that's Jed. Jed, pop on the stream.
Good evening, David. Good evening, everybody. What a lovely Friday evening it is, and that's my dog. just barking in the background on cue.
Well, your dog. Well, both you and your dog are very welcome on the stream, and thank you away. But by the way, Stu Frost is obviously wanting to get me into huge trouble with Rebecca Butler. He's given a very generous fiver to get a bottle of Blue Nun to go with the cheap flowers. I'll tell Rebecca about this on Monday night, Stu Frost. But thank you for your super chat. So, Jed, we've got a Eurovision moment coming up, haven't you? So, talk them through what's going to happen. Will I have a drink?
Okay, guys. What it is, David, when he does his shorts, he has a different intro to his lives, of course. And we've had a few comments that the intro he's been using was too techno, down with the kids for David's style. I could just see David, hands up in the air, club night. However, David's not quite like that. So I've come up with two alternatives. And what I would like is for you guys to vote on it. Because you are our family. It is a family here. We love and respect you all that come and watch David's shorts and David's live streams every week, every day. And we really do appreciate it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to play the first short. And then I'll come back on and then I'll play the second one. So here goes with the first one. This is for his short videos that he puts out on a daily basis. So here we go. What do you think of this one so far? So that's quite mellow, and that's what we was asked for. David I know he's passionate about what he talks about, but the comments were it needs to be a bit mellow. So that was number one. So here goes for number two. So you've seen them both now, guys. So in the comments, if you like number one, press one. If you like number two, press two. I'm not going to ask if you don't like them both because that was stuck.
Well, of course, no, Jed, we do have our existing. Maybe, Jed, I don't know if you can do this. Can we just give them a reminder of our classic existing?
I will try, David. It's in a different studio, but bear with me. Bear with me, please.
Yeah, so whilst you're doing that...
we'll lose the background. I'm sorry, guys, but I'll do that.
Yeah, that's okay. So whilst Jed goes and finds it out, so we want to know the two that Jed played. There was the first one, there was the second one. Which one do you prefer, one or two? Stu Frost, you're banned for life for saying three, right? So, one or two. Come on, one or two. It's something. And actually, by the way, you're all really lucky. I decided not to sing over those, so I mean, I spared you that. But Jed, it seems to be.
I am ready now with the original that you've been using over the past few weeks.
So just Jed plays this. This is the techno one. This is the techno one that some people say, totally doesn't suit me because I'm not a techno kind of guy. Right, Jed, hit the techno track. Right, there you go. That was so actually you've got three choices really, Jed, haven't they? One.
Well, yes, they have. Keep the original.
Yeah.
Which what I would say is is number three, or the two previous ones I played, which is number one or number two. So 1, 2, or 3. What do you like, guys? You tell us, because we produce content for you guys.
And that's exactly it, folks. We do this. This is as much your show as it is ours. I just turn up basically.
Thank you, Andrew, for putting number 4.
Yeah, Andrew, I'm going to have to have serious words with you. I mean, seriously, I went between you and Stu. But Stu has now seen the light, and he's gone for number 2. Diane, by the way, Ruth McMurray, what do you mean 1, 2, 3? LOL. You got to choose one. You're only going to have one. Anyway, I mean, I like to think that the music is, it's nice. It's a nice little intro. It lasts for like 10, 15 seconds, whatever. It's not the most important part of the show. I like to think some people might take issue with me and say, no, that's the good bit of the show. It's whenever you start talking that it goes terribly downhill. But anyway, as I say, it is. So if you're watching this in replay, please make sure you vote. Put the number 1, 2, or 3 in. Don't be like Diane, who's confusing us by voting. Maybe, Diane, you think they're all equally brilliant, which I'm sure Jed would really like to know. But let us know and share that info with me. So, Jed, before we wrap things up, for the week, what would you say, Jed, has been your kind of outstanding political story of the week from your point of view?
Wow. That is a question because all the stories this week really have been, can you go on holiday or can't you go on holiday? And I never thought you would be able to go on holiday because it is the plan. And I'm sure the chat will agree with me that the plan is, I'm sorry to say that what they want to do is reduce air travel to business and commerce only. They don't want plebs like us going on holiday. I think that's the biggest story. I think we're going to find that there's going to be more and more restrictions on flights, even more than what we've got now. I think that is stay. You've heard the saying, haven't you? Stay in your lane. Well, no, it's stay in your country. I think that's what it's going to be. I think that's the future.
Well, certainly, Jed. That's a good observation. The holiday thing has been central to this past, actually, arguably the past couple of weeks, really, I suppose. But I just read before we came on air that because they've now put Portugal on the amber list, Jed, from next Tuesday, if you want to get a flight back from Portugal to the UK, I see it's 540 quid. If you want to get, if you want to come home early so you can avoid the quarantining and stuff that's involved in the £1,000 PCR test. So,
but right from the outset, David, from January, well, let's be honest, from December 2019, it's been follow the money. Who's making money out of all of this? Who's making money out of the PCR testing? Where we're paying 120, 130, 150 quid for a test, when you can go to another country and you get it for 30 quid, or in some countries you get it for free. Who made the billions on PPE? There's money being thrown at all sorts of people and made by all sorts of people. In the last 12 months, we've had 10 new billionaires, pure and simply from the COVID crisis.
Oh yeah. I mean, if you want to get wealthy, get into PPE. Well, and then the other thing is, by the way, I wondered did anyone in the stream see the video footage, Jed, of it was in the States, and it was all. Do you remember ventilators were at one point in time ventilators. We need ventilators. Make ventilators. Yeah. I saw a video image of ventilators going on a huge rubbish tip in, I think it was New York or somewhere in upstate New York. And somebody just happened to film all these unused ventilators, Jed, going into the top of the rubbish tip where they stayed for less than 12 hours. And then because of the vast amounts, of rubbish, they would be compacted below the surface and never seen. And I remember.
Would that be the ventilators that Cuomo didn't have and he blamed Trump for? Although he did have them, but was storing them in case he needed them, but he needed more, even though he didn't use them, and now he's throwing them in the tip. I'm sorry, I'm a bit confused, David.
Yeah, understandably. Can I just say hi to DD from Northern Ireland? Hi, DD. And Stuart asks the question, please get Anne-Marie on to talk about June the 26th Batley by-election. And indeed, that's where Anne-Marie Waters is standing, yes, in the following the change in the incumbent MP. She's had to give up a seat. And this, of course, was the seat, Jed, where Joe Cox, the Labour MP...
you don't have to remind me, David. I think the whole world knows.
Yeah, so Joe Cox...
It's the dead MP seat. It's not Backley seat. It's the dead MP seat.
Well, you see, Jed, that's a really, really good point. It is. It's actually. It is actually the Batley seat, though, but it's going to be very, very interesting. My only concern is, folks, Stu, we'll try and get Anne Marie on. So I promise you, I'll have a chat and see if we can bring her on a stream between now and the 26th. Yeah, June 26th. It's not that long, actually, but I'll see if we can get her on, even if it's just for a short interview. You may have seen, I think Alt News Media actually did break some of this anyway, yesterday on their Twitter, which isn't run by me, but it was put up on the Alt News Media Twitter stream, an announcement. And if you notice, Anne-Marie has got additional help. Let's put it like that. We're on YouTube, remember. We only can say certain stuff. But yeah, I'll try and see if we can do that, actually. But actually, I was going to say, Jed, I think it's going to be a very toxic, by-election, because there is all the Joe Cox, the sort of the backstory, and then you've got the fact that it's her sister standing, and then the fact you're going to have, I believe, Jetta Franson will be standing, I believe, and obviously Anne Marie Waters is standing. I don't know who the Conservative candidate. I don't know if there's going to be any other candidates.
But David, a sister's standing on a platform of I'm the sister of a dead MP, because she's never been an MP. She doesn't qualify to run. So she's standing on a ticket for Labour of I'm the sister of the dead MP.
Which if you recall, Rebecca Butler very wisely talked about a couple of weeks ago. We chatted about that, Jed, which she actually used that terminology.
Yeah.
She is basically, I'm the sister of the dead MP candidate. I don't know. I put it like this: if Labour do not win this, I think it's curtains for Sir Keir Starmer. Don't know what you folks think on the stream, but I can't. If another loss of a seat like that, like Batley, Jed, I would have thought that's curtains up, well, curtains down. What do you think?
I agree. People kept going, oh, he's forensic this, he's forensic that. No, he's not. He's sit on the fence.
Yeah.
And over the past 12 months, since he took over, so we're not even 12 months, are we? Maybe. I don't know. You see, I can't even remember when he took over. He's that dull and boring. All he's done is back up the government. He hasn't been an opposition. An opposition is supposed to go, government says X, I say Y. And all they're doing is saying X, but longer and sharper.
Yes.
Yeah? Or earlier. We want X earlier and longer. That's all they're saying. They're not saying we want Y. We've got a different plan. He's just saying we want that plan, but we wanted it earlier and longer. That's not an opposition.
I have to say, I agree with Ricky here. Ricky says Labour are finished irrespective. Ricky, I agree. I think they're irredeemable. Jed, they have no talent. They have no talent. They've got nothing. No. And the thing they don't do, which you've just put your thumb on, they don't oppose. If an opposition opposes, they don't oppose. They support Boris in all of the lockdown, the restrictions, all of this stuff in terms of the furlough. Oh, and by the way, folks, did you pick up in the news? I think it was yes. I've been very busy for a few days, so you'll pardon if there's not been as many videos from me. But Jed, there's talk of the furlough. Michael Gove said he wouldn't be opposed to the furlough being extended.
Well, of course not, because he's not paying for it, David. We're paying for it. The taxpayer, the people that are losing their jobs, the people that are on the breadline, they're paying for it.
Yeah,
it's easy when it's somebody else's money. This is what gets me. There's people saying, "Oh, well, I've done well out of furlough." Well, good on you. But there are people that haven't. Certainly, self-employed haven't.
Totally, completely agree.
But at the end of the day, they can say, "Oh, well, we're racking up debt for our children." Well, every generation racks up debt for their children. That's how it works. That's how our economy works. Unless you only spend what you bring in taxation. I don't know of a government that's ever done that.
Andrew Allsworth says, have you ever listened to the Four Horsemen of the Western Apocalypse and Hearts of Oak? It's a really good eye-opener. Andrew, is that a person? I'm not sure or is it 4 people? What is it? I can exclusively reveal, by the way, that I have met with the Hearts of Oak Supremo today, just purely casual, purely social. And of course, that's the channel. Hearts of Oak is one of those many platforms which I urge everyone to also support, by the way, Jed. It's important, as I keep saying, that those of us who are on the right side of history support each other's channels and stuff, because I know, for example, I'm aware of the fact that another channel called Unity News Network is no longer on YouTube, which it's sad to see opposing voices just being shut down, you know. So I
You're
support
right,
all.
David. You're absolutely right, and that's why I encourage everybody that watches the stream and watches David videos. First of all, there is particularly a lot more content that goes up on brand new tube. The David Vance channel on brand new tube. Stuff we could never show here on YouTube or on Facebook.
No, that's right.
There's 6, 7 or more videos some days that go up on brand new tube. Follow us over there. If we ever disappear from here, that's where we will be. That's where we can live stream it, along with Odyssey. You can find us there, but there's so much more content David puts out during the day, particularly on brand new tube. Guys, you've got to follow us there, because one day they will come for us.
Oh, that's absolutely right. In fact, actually, Jed, another channel that I am on, we don't stream to it because it's a bit expensive at the moment, but Rumble. And in the last day, I don't know if you've seen it, one of the huge YouTube platforms, Stephen Crowder, who some of you may know, I don't know how many millions he has, many. I think it's 4 or 5 million followers on YouTube, but his channel's also been given a lot of grief, and he has now announced that he will be live streaming to Rumble, which may give Rumble the economy of scale to enable people like us, much more modest channels, to also stream there. So ultimately, folks, I believe, Jed, that technology, new technology, you can't hold it back. The big dominance of big tech is, you know, it's something that, yeah, Stephen Crowder, this guy, I wonder, yeah, he's just started. He's literally just gone on to Rumble, and he's already
with 170,000 subscribers.
That's pretty much today, I think, or in the last 24 hours. So this is the way it is, folks, you know. So I hope, thanks, Stu, for following me on brand YouTube over in Parler, whenever Parler's working. I hope, by the way, can I say, these are just some of our, or this is my Rumble channel, just in case. Yeah, you can see it there. These are some of the video content we put out over there as well. I hope you're enjoying the Alana Mercer videos, by the way. I do enjoy having Alana on the stream. Alana is probably one of the most, I would rate, Jed is one of the most foremost public intellectuals who, libertarian, so she's not Republican, she's not Democrat, she's a libertarian, and I suppose, truthfully, if I lived in the States, I think that's exactly what I would be as well. In fact, I'm not here, but this is fortunately
she's very well educated, and she's got a brilliant way of putting her point across. Her books, not that I've read, I know you've read a couple of her books now, David.
Yeah,
they are fantastic. But she does do, for those that don't normally catch that, those sort of streams, you can find. I'm just looking for the ticker tape there, David. I'm doing my best as I speak.
Yeah,
you can find it here at alanamercer.com, and also try her Burley blog. If you can't catch our streams, when we do the streams with her, our premieres, they do go on a Burley blog as well, with other articles.
So as I said, folks, that's basically what we're all trying to do anyway. Give you hopefully good, interesting, thoughtful, challenging content. And also, by the way, that's Jed's just brought up the brand new. Is that the brand new tube?
It is. It is the brand new tube, and as you can see, everybody, there's a lot more content there than what appears on YouTube. As you can see, there's many other videos that David puts out during the day. So please do give us a follow over there. I think that's where in the end, that's the only place I think we'll end up streaming to once YouTube have had enough of us.
Yeah, well, hopefully that will be a little while ahead. But before I take up any more of your Friday evening, folks, I wanted to thank you for being here with me tonight. You know, it's quite nice to do these things just like this, just myself and Jed, really, and no technical problems. So it's all been
You've said it now, David.
I know that's tend to fade. So as my broadband is about to crash probably in the next 10 seconds, can I first of all thank you all, folks, for being on the stream. Thank you, Stu Frost, for the generous super chats towards Rebecca's Blue Nun and Rebecca's Flowers. I will have a Rebecca up. I think Rebecca will be with me on hopefully a Monday night. I think some news about that. She'll tell you on Monday night. But anyway, I'll leave that to then. But thanks for that, Stu. Thanks for all your kind comments. Great to see you all. So many of you on the stream. Thanks for supporting us. Thank you, Jed, for all that you do for all of us here.
You're welcome.
Keep this thing rolling. And without further ado, I will wish you good evening. If you haven't voted, by the way, on the music, the really important, the most important topic of all, remember, it's 1, 2, 3. Play them back if you want to, but we want to make a decision on this one. So make sure you do that. And that's it. Enjoy the rest of your evening, folks. And I'm sure there will be more output from me over the weekend. But anyway, that's it from Jed and myself for tonight. Good night, everybody.
Good night, everybody. Remember to like, subscribe, and share.